All right, everybody, welcome back. We have another episode of our in-person, DC-based Creative Geniuses round season 2, whatever, call it that, yeah. Right here we have Raksa Yin. He's from Amtrak. We go way back. He's a former student years ago at Corcoran, and now he's doing some cool stuff at Amtrak. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you in person, man.
Yeah.
I love this.
I was just thinking recently, like for me, undergrad was just 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I know we've been catching the past couple of months.
Yeah.
And not to make you sound old or myself sound old, but just like, holy
we got
crap.
some new grades going on.
Yeah.
Very different ways that weren't there back.
But time flies, and
Time
you know,
flies.
you've been doing incredible work, and I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Me too. So let's talk about this. You're at Amtrak. Tell us what you're doing with Amtrak.
Yeah, inside.
Because real quick. When people think about Amtrak, they probably aren't thinking creative.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, inventive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. You're doing some cool stuff.
Yeah, actually, that's a great segue because the team I'm on is the innovation team.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are I don't know how, somewhat brand new. We're about under 2 years. I guess to a lot of other companies and businesses, like under 2 years is still pretty new, especially being part of a larger organization. We're still trying to figure ourselves out, but I think we do have some legs after this, like just literally this past year of just trying a ton of things inside of Amtrak. But I'm on the innovation team.
Okay.
And
what's your role with the innovation team?
Yeah, I'm the lead experienced visual designer on the innovation team.
It's a mouthful, dude. Is your business card like?
Yeah.
It's Costco receipt or something?
It's a long one. I call myself a visual designer simply. Size wise, we're pretty small actually. Under 10 people.
Okay.
One of like a startup, we're like one discipline per role. Such as one service designer, one researcher, one in-house futurist, our manager, and some interns.
Okay.
And so I lead visual design discipline inside innovation. And our task is really trying to think of, like how can we kind of flip the script on Amtrak, and I guess the brand perception that Amtrak can be a futuristic, innovative business. And for us, a lot of it does start from the inside. And so can't really share too much, but we're working with a lot of different teams to bring innovation strategy, to do design thinking, to really build bridges across. You think about Amtrak, every little aspect of your like passenger journey, there's a team behind it. The conductor, from the app, from the concierge at the station, and so there's like a leader behind all those teams. But
that's cool.
It's a massive organization. We're across the entire U.S. I think we don't have a station in 3 states. Pop quiz. What are they? Well, I think it's obviously Alaska, Hawaii.
Alaska doesn't have one.
No, yeah. I mean,
I figured with all of the Yukon Open, top kind of.
I don't know. It's like
it's
a territory thing with Canada. Like, can we like have track through Canada or something? I think that'd be a great brand partnership. Whatever. If there is some sort of track.
I know you're not listening. My mom barely listens.
If someone in Canada is listening in, like ping us in the fun transportation side.
Yeah. So within your role there.
Yeah.
One question that I ask everybody. If you could describe your job, your particular role, to a child, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, how would you do that?
That's interesting.
I love creativity.
That's a great question. Yeah. Oh my, how do we? I mean, I think I would describe our job at Amtrak as how can we make people just happy during their travels via rail, wherever they're going, and how can we bring them joy? How can we make the experience memorable?
From like a technology perspective?
It doesn't have to be technology. And yeah, that's something opportunity we're identifying that, when you think about capital I, lowercase I innovation, some people might go straight to like technology and holograms, but I think innovation could also just be like improvement of operation or people process, or even
which is really important, I think, especially when you're talking something like Amtrak.
Yeah,
deals with a lot of people moving from place to place.
Yeah. I think technology might be just like a byproduct of these opportunities, but we're learning that some opportunities
I think
doesn't
we
have
just
to,
kind of go in that direction, don't we?
yeah,
Because everything's now on our phone. That's
Yeah.
technological, so we just
Yeah.
must assume that
yeah.
it's gonna go on my screen or that screen or this thing or this screen.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think before going to the screens or in the phone, we have to train the people.
yeah,
Our conductors. If for example, we do any new features technologically at the station or on a train or in an app, like
sure.
our frontline workers, the people that we identify frontline workers as the people that you interface at the stations.
Okay.
And so it's how can we take care of them? And so less technology, but more like if we can empower them and inspire them, encourage them, and motivate them to be innovative in their work, or even just help enable them to be, rock stars.
Yeah.
In the abstract journey, I think that's in the I guess that give us was it points to be an innovative business. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool then.
Yeah.
So what's and this is a big topic in our world as a creative. I know you know this. Like, what's AI looking like
Oh my.
in all of this?
Yeah. I don't know if you can cause any controversy or whatever.
No, go ahead.
I think it's a total divide, but I'm on the side of the conversation as AI being more an enabler and a co-pilot and a
Tool.
work.
Yeah.
A tool. Like I think we've seen it in history that someone will invent something, will bring something that will support our productivity and enable us to work faster and more efficient. I know that's like very like loosely seeing that with AI.
Yeah.
Because there's way more with it, such as data and privacy, et cetera, and security. But
Yeah.
I think I'm going to say high level, I guess, with the potential of generative AI, because I know AI has been around for many decades in all shape and form. But I guess for creative people, I see it as more just helping me enable and save me time from doing something else.
Sure.
I've used the example of just like how I've used Gen AI and text image creation, really just for like quick concepts.
Yeah.
Really just like I will use it in my process just to I write some text and description and just see what this robot would generate. I would not use that front image as
No.
like specs of like here's a train design. No, I think it helped me out just like back in the day where I used Pinterest and mood board compared to like when I used to go to the libraries or buy all the design books or take photos of design books
Yeah.
and spreads. I went from that to look at Pinterest. People
Right.
have uploaded all these stuff, and now I could create these digital boards and less of me having. And I still have all these like stocks of like
Oh yeah.
inspiration.
Books.
And so Gen AI is just like for me, my workflow is more like how can it visualize my imagination, how can it inspire me, how can it get me from my A to Z, my
Yeah.
workflow. And so it's more just like a creativity or enabler or booster. That's how it is for me. I think there's still a lot to learn. I still feel like it's a Wild West with this
It
technology.
very much is.
I would hope, regulation and, accountability is involved.
I don't know how you. Here's my question.
Yeah.
I don't know how you regulate something
Yeah.
that is,
Yeah.
and I don't know how you trademark something, or I don't know how you
Yeah.
give credit to people when it's pulling from literally billions of sources,
Yeah.
and like it then creates something new
Right.
based on all this learning
Yeah.
it did
Yeah.
of what does a clown look like. Well, like, what if it references ears from a cartoon,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was iterated 50 times over? Like, how do you
Yeah.
then go back to give credit to wherever that original?
Yeah.
That's what
yeah.
it to me seems like a really hard one to figure out.
I think, yeah.
And I don't
Totally.
know how you credit the artists that it pulls
Yeah.
from. If you say, look, create something in
Yeah.
Van Gogh, or create something in a Monet, or anything like that, then it's more obvious. Like, it's learning from something that it can like really stick to.
Yeah, but those names are like household names. and
Exactly,
stuff,
right?
But
But even if you at some point, even if you reference an artist,
Yeah.
it's not a household name. You're still
Yeah.
referencing a person,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you tell it to like make me a clown,
Yeah.
and it just goes through its whole database of
Yeah.
learning of what clowns look like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it spits out one that looks ish
Yeah.
like the one
Yeah.
from It. Like, oh, then you just don't use that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it just even that I don't think is going to be the exact It clown.
Yeah.
And so you kind of figure out, okay, how do we give credit? Because I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you keep track of that.
Yeah. The only example, to close it, have you seen what Adobe's trying to do? And this would
With Photoshop?
with their like Firefly and all their Gen AI tools, is at least like it. I think Adobe is trying to be very transparent, or they're trying to be upfront of where the data is used. I think
Yeah.
even on their website or the Adobe stock, they have a like simply on the side when you're searching images what has been AI generated.
Yeah.
And so
I've seen that,
like
yeah.
that's the only example I've seen compared to like a Midjourney or say
Yeah.
Diffusion. You know, and I also feel like or don't know who is the one to regulate. It's like, do we want to look at the Congress to regulate this?
Yeah, and I don't know if I trust them either. So
Yeah. Or do we really trust even the tech leaders in this space?
No, because they're on it for their own gains too.
Yeah.
You know, I just listened to a podcast.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if I can find it and link to this because it was fascinating. But they're talking about how stock is being labeled as AI made or not AI made.
Oh.
You know, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Adobe says this is AI stock,
Yeah.
this one's not. That's a good way of at least sorting through the stock stuff.
Yeah.
But what if that AI stock is made from
Yeah.
what it learned from other people's real stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know how you go about doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the challenges. And I think for the tech companies to be able to have a say in that, to make the rules, makes it so much better for them to know how to break those rules.
Yeah.
Or how to maximize those rules for our data.
Yeah.
To be able to then sell things to us and
Yeah.
what to build and design and create
Yeah.
to then sell you something visual with visual art advertising.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. That's kind of scary.
It's a weird one, and that's why it's like it's even with the whole NFT wave that happened a year or two ago, and
Yeah.
it's like technology is moving fast, and it's going to keep on moving fast, but like it feels like the Wild West.
Dude, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
Well, and I try to figure out as a designer and a creator, like, how am I going to use this? Do I need to be afraid of this?
Yeah.
And really, I don't want to be afraid of it. I do see how it has the possibility for speeding things along that may have taken more time. For example, we've used it on projects where we help with style boarding and mood boarding in a quicker way to be able to sell an idea through.
Yeah.
Well, maybe before we would have had an artist or designer, an animator build something that we would have then put into the budget.
Yeah.
Had the budget be a little bit bigger, to pay for all that work, right?
Yeah.
You maybe don't have to do that now.
Yeah.
So is that costing designers, animators time and money? Maybe. Is it allowing them to work in a more quickly, precise, efficient way on the project because you've already been able to sell it through?
Yeah.
Maybe to that. I don't really know the answer,
Yeah. Right.
but I do think it is a tool to be used and maximized, just like Photoshop was.
Yeah.
You know, Photoshop, when that came out, we were terrified of it.
Yeah.
You know, After Effects made titles easier and text easier and things like that, whereas before you did it in a different way.
I remember in college, for which professor, but she showed us like how it was back in the day. Maybe poster house laid out. I think Deborah Naylor. I think hopefully she's still based in DC, but I forgot what class I was taking, but she was telling us she brought in her like old print specs with all the transparencies and overlays, and she showed her markup, and it was all just like snail mail, like back and forth for a printer, and then you get that final poster where it's like literal flatten that like what she
pieced it all together. It's so cool, but it's very different now.
Now it's different, and like I've used Gemini maybe just like simple like post production of just tweaking some images of just like, oh, I don't need this firewall on top of this guy's headshot. Let me just like, it's a decent headshot, but I wish I did a different room and I can't go back in time. And so like Gemini have helped me just like remove it and clean up and stuff like that. Yeah. Compared to the old days of just like constant being
close everything to death.
You whatever key control shift whatever, just tap an area, then like drag your mouse over and you know.
And sometimes we still do that, but we have to. But there is the ability now to have this as a tool to help get things done. How we end up, as long as we're not trying to pass things off as something different. I think that's a little bit scary too. But there's ways to use it, ways to maximize it. There is going to be a change in the job force here and there.
I think so.
But like,
I just like despite like how much I guess we talk about time efficiency, but I also feel like because of maybe it's accessible to anyone to use, I do think that everyone should like develop that eye for design and composition and just like you know, those principles of, you know, what does a good, some visually, like what does a good looking visual looks like and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because like, I feel like, I mean, you know, when you see a AI driven image, like something is always off.
Something was a little
Or it's too
off.
glossy or smooth skin
Yeah.
or like body proportion
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I notice I see more stuff like it becoming more and more accurate, but like I feel like those are just demo videos. But,
I
like,
wonder about those too. Like those seem like highly curated,
Highly
specifically
curated. Yeah.
prompted. The one thing that's been cool though is with the prompting, it's helped me as a creative director to write better and describe better. So when I'm talking with the team, I can try to express things better.
Yeah.
If I can't get AI to spit out something of what I'm looking at up here,
yeah,
even if it's not going to be exact, and I
Yeah.
know it's not going to because what's in
Yeah.
my head
Yeah.
is impossible.
yeah,
But if I can't get it to do that, then how am I going to get my team who are real humans to be able to get it as well?
yeah,
So I try to figure out if I can get to a simple machine to grasp a little bit of where I'm going.
yeah,
I feel like I'm in the right spot when I can start to talk to the team about it as well,
Mm.
or include them or wrap them into that whole process.
Yeah.
So it has helped me. It's helped me with my writing too,
Yeah.
to be more specific about how I describe things, the
Yeah.
order in which I describe things.
Yeah.
I just did something a little bit ago where I described things in one order and it printed out
yeah.
a certain way, and I flipped the order
Yeah.
and it printed out something very different.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
It helps to arrange it and to understand the way that it thinks a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think as a tool and
Yeah.
as a creative, it's a very powerful tool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I actually have not used AI from the writing capacity. I still very much like would write over and over and over, but maybe it's something I'll consider.
So
Yeah.
we use it for that too, for writing, spitting out ideas, like throwing a bunch of stuff into it,
Yeah.
organizing, like, you know what, this is still garbage.
Yeah,
We're going to take this
Yeah.
back and do it. Or you look at it, you go, that's an interesting choice of words that you group together.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull it in, I'm going to rearrange it myself.
yeah.
Or like when I'm describing art or
Yeah.
design to somebody.
yeah,
If I can get the AI thing to spit out something similar to what's in my head because I was able to articulate it with words in a written fashion,
yeah.
that's very powerful.
I think that's what I'm saying. That like you still need like human effort,
You still need human effort.
like for this work. Like
Yeah.
time is spent on something.
Time is spent. You're exactly
Yeah.
right. It may be quicker, but I'm still putting time and energy into
Yeah.
it. It's a different skill set than
Yeah.
what I would have done
Yeah,
had I pulled out the tablet and kind of gone
yeah,
to
totally.
town in Photoshop. Like
Yeah,
now I'm kind of like taking that same idea and I'm putting it into words,
yeah,
and then I'm parsing through all that information.
yeah,
Like very rarely do you type one thing and
Yeah.
there's your thing. That's
Yeah.
what I want. That,
Yeah.
No, I need to
Yeah.
change that.
yeah. No, like so like time is spent on something. You still need human effort, and you still need to have a good eye. Like
Yeah.
like that. If I don't think you should rely on AI to be the end all of like here's a solution. Like no, like you said, like you see something like the wording might sound just so robotic, very generic, or it
Yeah.
doesn't like totally sound like you, and so like you,
That's a big one, too.
you still have to like put your own personal touch to it, or still make it sound like you
Yeah.
or us. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that looking like with your team as far as creating, working with people, maybe using AI in your creative process? Like what does that look like when you guys create together?
Yeah, we actually no, we don't use like Gen AI in like as a team wide creative process. To be frank, because I definitely just use it more from the text image visuals really. Maybe because maybe the other thing, like we don't really have tools built at the moment for us to speed up any part of our process. We still pretty much do a lot of things from scratch, just as like design thinking workshops in terms, or like if you're thinking about the workshop flow. We basically just brainstorm together and just like, I think this is what we believe would be the great way to go from to facilitate conversation from A to B, A to Z, whatever.
Old fashioned.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think we're pretty old fashioned, but like
Yeah, I love it.
I think we still try to keep an eye on the technology to see like if there's any opportunities that we could leverage it. Any form of automation that could go into our apps or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.